But first this evening, when the movie Avatar: The Way of Water opens on Friday, it is likely to set a new standard for Hollywood visual effects. Overseeing the creation of those effects was the responsibility of Eric Sandin, who grew up in Gorham. Sandin also did special effects for the first Avatar and all three Lord of the Rings movies, and has been working full-time on The Way of Water since 2018. As he told Rob from his home in New Zealand, where he's lived and worked for many years, this project was epic in every way.
It's a long film. It's more than 3 hours, and there are special effects, are there not, in virtually the entire movie?
To give a quick example, Lord of the Rings, we had 220 visual effects shots. And this movie, we have 3,250 for this movie. So pretty much every shot in the movie was a visual effects shot, and a big visual effects shot.
How big a team do you have working on this?
About 1,400 people on just the visual effects side. And then if you, I think the credit roll is about 3,600 people.
You say that rather matter-of-factly, but that's insane. You have an army of people who are doing nothing but special effects.
It is an army. It's a lot of special effects, and we're pushing the boundaries on this movie. So we needed a lot of people. We needed a lot of computer power. We had computers all over the world working on this movie. So it's pushed the boundaries, so we needed it.
When we see the film and we look at these visual effects, how many of those effects were created with a movie camera? How often did someone turn on a camera and shoot something? And how often were they simply created on a computer?
I should actually figure out exactly those numbers, but I'd say about a third of the movie had a live action plate in it. Which meant like shot with a real camera, shot a character, shot an environment, something like that. It was all shot on sound stages. There was nothing shot outside because we can't go to Pandora and shoot. And the rest will all be completely virtual.
For everyone involved in Avatar: The Way of Water, the stakes are enormously high.
Why do you come to us? I want to keep my family safe.
The first Avatar is the top-grossing motion picture of all time. Businessweek reports that the production budget for this film may be as high as $400 million. Money spent to give The Way of Water a look that audiences have never seen before, a look that will leave them dazzled. What, for you, on this film was the biggest challenge?
The Way of Water is the name of the movie, and we had a lot of water in this movie, and that is a huge challenge for visual effects, to make water look real. For me, it was getting the great performances of the actors to actually come through on these characters, and it took a lot of nuancing to get it right. But the end result is you watch this movie, and it is 3 hours, but it flies by.
You got into this business in, I believe, 1999. You were pretty much just out of college. You got your first break, went to California, and got into the movie business.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that that was wildly exciting for you as a young guy. Now you're in a completely different place. Is it still fun, though? Do you still get revved up doing what you do?
You know, I went into work every day and got to sit next to James Cameron and talk about his career and talk about storytelling and how you shoot a movie properly and how you compose a movie. And I learned so much from doing this that I was excited every day. You go to work, you work with these crazy, like this famous director, these famous people, you meet all these insane people. Yeah, it's still exciting every day.
As you and I talk, the movie is, I believe, 2 weeks away from its premiere, exactly 2 weeks. Is the picture finished, or are there still some touches that are being worked on?
I actually watched the movie with Jim for the first time last Sunday. And when it ended, he looked at me and said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Do you have any notes for me?" And he said, "Nope." And I said, "Then I love it." And that was actually the nail in the coffin. Like, it's done. We're sending it. It's over.
Last question, Eric.
Before we started recording this interview, I had the effrontery to say to you, I don't think the lighting on you is very good. Can you change the shot? Does that kind of thing kind of happen to you much, where people say things like that to you in a Zoom call where they say, Eric, you're not doing it right. You don't look good. We need to improve the what you're giving us here.
It would take a lot more than lighting just to make me look good at this stage. So after so many hours and so many years on these films, lighting's not going to help that much, but yes. Lighting myself isn't something I do well. It's making the CG look good is my job.
And it looks really good. So after working on such a monumental project, what is next for Eric Sandin? More of the same. He's going to be supervising visual effects for the next Avatar movie, which is expected to come out in 2024. That means Eric will be working on it for a relatively short time, just 2 years.